Hello, my name is Braden Sanders. Today I'm joined by Andrew Schmidt, Jacob Durden, Chase Foltz, and Cullen Barbie. And I'm doing my informative speech on the history of baseball and the history of baseball pitchers. Baseball is about 150 years old. I think this year it's 149 years old, so almost the 150th anniversary. It's one of America's most popular sports. It started from immigrants bringing over sports like, I got inspiration from sports like, what's the sport called? Cricket. Got inspiration from cricket. And then quickly it became very popular in the US. It helped bring unity to the country through times like the Great Depression and the Civil War. Some notable figures of baseball in the early days: Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig, Cy Young, some of those guys.
Molly Fingers.
That guy too. So the history, another important thing about the history of baseball is that African Americans were not allowed to participate. They had their own separate leagues until Jackie Robinson came around, and he was the first African American to play Major League Baseball. Pitchers have been affected greatly by the history of baseball. I'd say most importantly, has to do with the distance of the mound to home plate. Originally, it was 45 feet away, and over time, until about 1890s is when it finally got back to the 60 feet 6 inches that it is today. And these changes came about just because people started throwing harder, throwing different pitches, throwing things that just made the game not very playable, made the hitters not be able to hit the ball at all. Many different pitches that pitchers threw back in the day. Most notably, just like fastballs, curveballs, and the spitball was a very popular pitch back then. But people don't. It's banned now. Can't really throw that anymore. But now you can throw a lot of different pitches, a lot more variety. There's fastballs, 4-seam fastballs, 2-seam fastballs. They have cutters, sliders, curves, so many other different things. Change-ups, you have screwballs, knuckleballs. There's a wide variety of pitches you can throw now. The other important thing to think about is that back then there was not a lot of technology, not a lot of training tools out there. So compared to now, the players were not as good as they are now, which is why a lot of these changes came about. Like, could you imagine someone throwing 100 from 45 feet away? The hitters are just not going to get the ball at all. So these changes came about to make the game more enjoyable to watch, more enjoyable to play, more enjoyable just for just everyday players. But I would say that would be the most important. Second most important, the pitching changes of the actual pitches would be the second most important, just because as the technology, as the training has improved, the hitters have gotten better, so pitchers had to adapt to these changes. It's where things like splitters, screwballs, change-ups, sinkers, stuff like that, just to give the pitchers an advantage over the hitters. And these changes came about differently through different countries that played. Like, America was the first to officially play Major League Baseball, but countries like Japan and over in Asia, they throw a lot of different pitches. Like, they throw like gyro balls, splitters predominantly, just because that's how their hitters have adapted over time. And like here in the States, they rely mostly on velocity, so you see a lot of fastballs, a lot of cutters, sinkers, things like that. But in conclusion, baseball has been around for almost 150 years. It's seen many different changes throughout history with the mound distance, velocity changes, training, and just overall pace of play and overall performance from the players. And these changes have affected me directly too, with small changes like base sizes for base runners, like pickoff attempts, how many you get, and other recent changes have been like the pitch clock, with just making sure the game is sped up a lot more. And that was my speech on history of baseball.